Hi, how's it going? I'm Marlena. Thanks for wandering by. So, welcome to, I think I'm calling this, it's a series. I think I might be nerdy and call it the final countdown. So, we're approaching the end of 2024. So, I'm going to be doing a series of different countdown videos, mostly on tarot and oracle, but I think I'm going to throw books in there, other things. We'll see how many of them I can get to. But this is the first one. So I figured I'm going to start out with a bang, start with a banger, like the kids say, and then do some like in between stuff and then like finish off with like the ultimate, tarot deck. So we're gonna start off with, and already, my top oracle decks of 2024. So oracle decks. um and I'm sorry for like the stern teacher librarian look, but I have to do this because otherwise you're reflecting in my in my screen and it's very distracting. Anyway, this time I have top 10. So I'm not sure if that's going to stay the same throughout this whole series or if it's going to be, less than, more than, I don't know. But right now I did manage to get 10, kind of cheating in there because there's some that are multiples, but you'll see. So here's the thing about Oracle, and I'm going to do the space forward because I'm going to show some of the cards from the decks, but not, so much. I've been feeling like, giving you my face lately. Anyway, so Oracle, I think 2024, I'll preface this whole countdown list with saying that I think like 2024 is the year that I had like a reckoning with Oracle decks. And I found my way with them because you'll see as we go through that like very few of these are Oracle decks that I use with tarot. And I think I had like set out, in my journey, and I guess I felt like I was locked in to Oracle being something that I had to pair with tarot. And I think I did that to myself because I wanted to use tarot. Like I was in love with tarot. It was like a no-brainer for me. And I was always intrigued and interested in Oracle decks. And I felt like if it doesn't work with the tarot, then you know, why do I need this thing, right? Um, anyway, trying to keep it, family friendly without dropping F-bombs here. That almost happened. Anyway, so I wanted to, yeah, I explored Oracle, and I think what I've discovered, and you'll see as I go through these, is that I have carved out specific purposes for these oracle decks, and like when they came into my life and I tried to use them just with the tarot, it didn't work. They didn't want to be boxed in that way. They wanted to like fulfill their little oracle dream. You know what I mean? Like they wanted to do a job, and they were like, don't just put me next to tarot, like don't just put me next to the tarot and make me like a sidekick character. I want to be the main character in my own story. And I feel like, yeah, so that's what happened with Oracle. So I'm gonna stop rambling on and I'm gonna go. And these I've actually um like I'm going from 10 to number one ranked. I mean, and just like, give or take, like it gets smushy in the middle, really. But like I think with like it's the amount I use them maybe, or just like it's so hard to rank, but I do feel like these are a little bit ranked based on like how I felt about them this particular year. I don't know, but they're all like so good. I'm like looking at number 10 and feeling like this is not number 10, but maybe it is. Oh my God. I should probably just show you the decks. Let's do that. Okay, let me get I have like a big pile of stuff. Okay, so the first the first deck, number 10, we'll say it's number 10, is the Feel Your Chakras Oracle. And I'm so lucky that Andy is a dear friend of mine, that she sent me these. And she sent me, well, it started with this one. So she sent me the vintage version of the Feel Your Chakras. And I'll show one of them. And then she also sent me in a Krista bag the midnight, or I call it the dark mode version of the Feel Your Chakras. Now, this deck I do pair with tarot, but the thing about the chakras is that the chakras deck is that I use it in a very specific reading, and so I don't do it like very often. Like maybe like once a month. So let me see. So like you can see, this is my favorite, the midnight or the dark mode. Yeah, the midnight edition. And all of Andy's decks are on make playing cards now. But anyway, like look at the backs. These are like so my favorite. So what I do is I take a card or I shuffle each of the chakras, and then I pull one card from each chakra. So like one crown, one throat, one third eye. Look at the backs. So good. And one sacral, so on and so forth. One of each. And I do it like I think of it in like a column. I guess maybe I should have done this, overhead. But anyway, I do it in a column, right? So like throat would be here in the middle, and then the other one's above. And if it's underactive, it goes, to this side maybe. If it's underactive, it goes on one side. And if it's overactive, let me grab an overactive one, it goes on the other side, right? So if it's overactive, so that would be like third eye right here and throat right here. So, and I have the column in the middle. If it's overactive, it goes on one side. If it's underactive, it goes on the other side. And if it's balanced, it stays directly in the middle. Let me see if I can grab just a balanced one. Where are we balanced? Yeah, here's a balanced one. Right in the middle. Well, that would be like way down below, but I'm not going to go down. So it would stay in the middle. And then I pick a tarot to go with it, and I only pull cards from the tarot if I'm underactive or overactive in that place, right? And then so I see how to get balanced. So if I'm all balanced, which I've never been, if I'm all balanced all the way down, I don't pull any tarot, but I pull tarot to, to show how I'm going to rebalance. Oh, wait, it's this one that was upside down to rebalance. So that's how I use this deck. And that's what it wants to do. Those are like, so that's like a big reading, like that's a big, like tall, long reading. And I need to like sit with it for a while. So I do that, like maybe once a month, every couple months, something like that I did this year. And now that I have all of these versions, I choose, whichever one suits me during that time of year. So like the vintage one is like such the perfect version to use around like the fall, even kind of maybe spring, kind of. It just depends on my mood. So yeah, so that's the Feel Your Chakras oracle. And then where am I going to put all this stuff? Oh my God. So I better go faster because yeah. So number 9. So I think out of all of these decks, the one that I paired the most with tarot and that works really well with tarot, that has like, that's more of its purpose, is this deck, the Seashell Oracle. And you guys, I mean, you've seen these Broccoli magazine decks probably everywhere right now. They have a whole series. This is the only one that I have. I haven't wanted to get the others. Well, I mean, A, because it's costly, and B, because I really just kind of like this one, and they kind of look the same to me. I have like, sometimes that happens to me where things like tend to just blend and look the same. So these are the backs. Can you see like the cute, like the little seashell glinting? I mean, like it's so pretty. This deck came in the summer, right? At the right time. And I used it with the Klimt tarot. I used it with everything. Like all of the arty decks. Oh, with the Surrealist tarot, it was looking great. Um, I like the keywords. I sometimes they don't always make sense like together, and also um what am I trying to say? And also with the particular like image, not always. But like the thing about this deck is of all of my tarot, or I'm sorry, of all of these oracles, like this is the one that literally I think you could pair with anything. With like any any tarot. Literally any tarot. I'm just looking at it. It's just beautiful. And I live in South Florida. I love the ocean. I grew up on the beach. Um, I collect seashells. It's a very versatile deck to use with tarot, and it's just like stunningly beautiful. So that's the Seashell Oracle. That's number 9. And now number 8. Ba-ba-da-ba. I don't know why I'm being such a weirdo. Okay. The number 8 spot goes to the Yggdrasil Norse divination cards. I have it in this little rune bag, and the book is the guidebook is important. I didn't bring it out to show you with this, but like I really do love the guidebook. It's not organized in like the most easy user-friendly way, but I love it. So sometime around this year, when was it? September, August, September. Um, when I was in my tarot overwhelm, I think, I started watching Vikings, and I watched it for like a good long, I still even haven't finished all the series of Vikings. I started pulling cards from the Yggdrasil, and then even when I wasn't like doing this, like, next with the show Vikings, I still kept this deck out and was pulling cards from it. And it was so good. It was like these cards just feel really empowering. I paid attention to the keyword. These are different, deity, and it's Norse mythology. So there's places, there's deity, there's all different kinds. Gnomes and elves and gnomes? No, elves, dwarves. Sorry, dwarves and elves, and then it's separated by which world they live in. I mean, there's so much. Like I'm nowhere near like an expert of understanding like all of the mythology, but like these are just super empowering. I love the black and white. I love all the line work. I just love the artwork. I would pull a Viking card. I started calling them my Viking cards, for me and my partner. They were good for like a daily draw, way to start the day. There was sometimes that I did it at like the end of the day as like um, like a review, right? Or reflective kind of reading. But this is, and I rarely ever pulled a tarot with this. I'm thinking. Yeah, I rarely ever pulled tarot with this. I just went, you know, um, full oracle, and I really enjoyed it. And this is like a sleeper hit, right? This became a just like a really important oracle deck for me. And I think I might have had this like on the chopping block a while ago. And then all of a sudden it just like boom, started working, started helping, started making me feel like empowered. And I was interested in connecting with, and learning a little bit more about Norse mythology. But yeah, it was really good just as dailies, reflective, you name it. Okay, so that's number 8, the Yggdrasil Norse divination cards. So now number 7, I know I'm dancing. Okay, number 7, I guess again, these are if I'm going to pull cards with the tarot, this is another series. It's a series. Spoiler, of decks. And it's the Divining Poets series. So I pulled out I have four of these that were gifted to me. Um, I have there's four, I think, total. There's Clifton and Dickinson. And then there is also Rumi and Yates. But these are my two favorites. I've probably used Clifton more than any other. And it's just bibliomancy, really, because they have um just the same image on the back, and then on the front they have a quote from that poet's work. And less certain than I seem, more certain than I was. The voice of the universe at peace, and the candles, their light, the light. I freaking love this. Like, and with I've been promising you guys a two card two card pull video, and this is probably the most inspired of those two card pulls, one oracle, one tarot. I know I said that like these are not that I use mostly with tarot, but I feel like these other guys have like different purposes, and you'll see. Because I think after this, the rest of them I kind of mostly use sans tarot. Well, the Yggdrasil I use without tarot. But anyway, I'm just holding up, like it's nothing like exciting, right? To see, it's exciting to read. Each day, something that loves us. And then just imagine, like what that's like when you put a tarot card next to it. These are so amazing. And if you're into doing bibliomancy and you want to shuffle cards, instead of necessarily popping open your book. And also for me, I most of the books that I get are from the library, so I don't have like my own home library that I can go to anymore. So like having these is just amazing. And I just love the look of them together next to the tarot. Like these are I go to these constantly, just constantly. And they're so simple. It's like I don't know, who would have thought, but like I guess it makes sense because I like words. I like words a lot and I'm a poet myself. So okay, so that is the Divining Poets series. And I pulled the Clifton and the Dickinson because those are just, the ones that I've used the most out of the four. Those are the ones that I've used the most. I'm so sorry for the reflection, but I just can't read. I cannot not. I need to get better glasses. Anyway, next. So we're on number 6. So we're almost there. So I probably won't talk too crazy long about the number 6 spot. But the number 6 spot has to go to another series. It has to go to the Seasons of the Witch series. So the Seasons of the Witch is I mean, I feel like I feel like everybody has these, or either you really, really like this is like you have to have them all, or maybe there are people who only like certain ones of the series. Um, but I want to have them all, although I do have my favorites within the series. I just talked about the Yule one. Um, and it's out right now because it's December, and I love these decks, like, and I use them as intended, I guess, seasonally. Even though I don't really follow the Wheel of the Year, even though I have, Wheel of the Year up there, I don't like celebrate the Sabbats. And I don't really feel seasons like traditionally like weather seasons because I live in South Florida. But I live my life in like a metaphor, and like everything to me is like I play with it, right? I play with with it in that way. So seasons are really metaphorical to me. Anyway, that's how I view seasons. But these decks, I just love them. I love to use them. They're so versatile. I do use them with tarot. I pull cards intentionally. I use them as daily draws. I use them, I use them in oracle spreads by themselves. I love the guidebook spreads. I don't necessarily love the guidebook write-ups, but I love the spreads. I think their guidebooks started getting better as they went along. So here's the Mabon one. So I think I'm just down. I need two more to finish the collection, and I'll get them because those are more the summer ones. Um, so I don't need them right now. And I mean, they changed the artist changed from Samhain, Yule, and Beltane have one artist, and then the rest have a different artist. And this is just, a little more like folk artsy, I would say. But I do love the Mabon one. And of all of the decks, I've used, Samhain's been out the longest, so I've used it the most. And Yule. Like these are my two top. I love them. Um, and then I think after that, I like the Mabon one. I've used this quite a bit as well. And it's funny because these are not these fall colors, maybe that's why, like these fall kind of colors are not, something that I see often in my area. I don't experience like the changing of the leaves and stuff. Another big reason why the Seasons of the Witch is an important series to me is because one of the creators, Juliet Diaz, I'm pretty sure it's Juliet Diaz, is Cuban. And I've mentioned it before that my parents are from Cuba, and I don't know of very many other Cuban oracle or tarot deck creators. If you know of any, let me know because I'm curious. I just want to support. And okay, so that's the Seasons of the Witch. How long have I been talking? Too long. Who cares? Okay, so next up is another deck that I really don't use that much with tarot. I've paired it with one deck, and I think that that's its bonded pair, its partner, if I ever do use it with tarot. But mostly these are altar cards. This is a spirit and energy and guardian of mine that I work with, and it's the Pegasus Oracle by Alana Fairchild. This deck has been around for a while. I feel like it's got those like super cheesy vibes to it. And it's one of those that doesn't have keywords, and it's literally just the name of the Pegasus, and they're all kind of like, made up things. Uh, made up by Alana Fairchild, I think, which is fine. It's like personal gnosis, right? And it fits into my own personal gnosis. Um, it's kind of like a mishmash of different mythologies, religions, spiritual practices, whatnot. And that's fine. Like I just love Pegasus. And Pegasus came about, I think, at the beginning of the year for me. I mean, I've always loved Pegasus since I was a kid, but I got, heavily into Greek mythology this year in 2024, and Pegasus just came to the forefront as an energy and a spirit as a guardian. And I intentionally chose Pegasus as my guardian for a practice that I was doing. And then I just wanted more representation of Pegasus. I wanted to put Pegasus on my altar. I have a couple of little Pegasus statues, and oh, I love it. This deck, I just hear the way that I use it. Oh, and the tarot deck that I partnered this with is the Unicorn's Journey Tarot by Lisa Pepez. That's like perfection together. The way that I use this deck is very intuitively. So I don't know, it could be months, it could be a couple weeks. it feels like weeks, maybe a month or two. When I need to, you see, I have a Pegasus card. Where is she? Right there. I have a Pegasus card on my altar up there. And when I need a different Pegasus in the myriad of Pegasi, is that the plural? Um, and anyway, when I need another like facet of this guardian energy to come through, and I want to see how Pegasus can take care of me and watch over us and me. I pull a card and oh, look at this one, Black Pegasus. So cool. Where's my favorite one? Let me show you my favorite. Oh, this one's beautiful too. This artwork is like, it just feels so 90s, like fantasy wall art sort of thing, that you would find like in a like specific stores in the mall. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Look at Pegasus of the Emerald Heart. But this is like my absolute favorite one, is Pegasus of the Roses. And I actually had Pegasus of the Roses was up on the altar for a while. And then I needed another one, and I have Pegasus of the Black. Oh, black something. Wait, Pegasus of the Black Diamond. That's what it is. Pegasus of the Black Diamond is what's up there. And it's all about going within. It's like perfect for this time of year. It's been up for a little while, like a week maybe. So the Pegasus Oracle, that's how I use it. And it's number 5. That was number 5. Yeah. Okay. I haven't been saying the numbers every time, so whatever. Who cares? Okay, next on my top 10 Oracle decks of 2024 is, oh wait, yeah, this is it. It's in this bag, so I don't know what it is yet. But it is, let me take it out of the bag. The Arcana of Astrology. Okay. So this is a Claire Goodchild deck. It's mass market. Is everything mass market? Yeah, except for Andy's Feel Your Chakras. No, the Seashell Oracle's indie. Feel Your Chakras, Seashell Oracle are indie. Everything else has been mass market. So the Arcana of Astrology is a Claire Goodchild deck. I didn't think I would be into this deck at all because it's so simple, right? But I mean that in the best way. It's very minimal design. That's what I mean. However, if you know, I've done a bit of a deep dive into astrology, but specifically astrology and tarot. So I did a Deccan walk. I paid attention to how astrology lines up with tarot. And so I've been learning about the planets, the signs, and their interconnection with the tarot. And so I have gotten different astrology decks and books, and this is like numero uno of the astrology decks. This is my number one astrology deck. The guidebook, it's thin, but Claire Goodchild speaks in a language about astrology that finally made it make sense. Like, I have read tons of stuff. Well, maybe not tons of stuff. I've read a good amount of stuff about astrology here and there, books, websites, etc., etc. Oh my God, I love this Mars card so much. Look at it. Look at it. Okay, so that guidebook is truly like a keeper. If I would get this deck just for that guidebook alone, even though it's like not like a super long thing. It's just the way that she describes everything makes sense to me. It's like in layman's terms. Look at the sun card. Do you see it pulsating? Do you love that? This is like probably my favorite card. I love this design. I've used this um for the Deccan walk stuff. I use this for Deccan explorations. It has, these are a bunch of the houses. So it has the houses, and it has, things like outside of the planets and the signs. It has a whole set of moon phases, which I was using Where are the moon phases? I probably just have them here. Yeah. I have all the moon phases. And then I put those on my altar as well. I was doing a whole thing with moon phases. Right now, today is the new moon, isn't it? It's the new moon. I love new moon energy. I with the moon cycle, I tend to like forget anything, but I'm always like keyed in for some reason when it's the new moon, and that's today. Just happens to be today as I'm filming this. It probably won't go up. It won't be the new moon when you're watching, but anyway. So, yeah, I mean, this deck I use for study. This deck I use for altar work. This deck I use for magic and just to have this energy around. Rarely have I ever, I don't know that I've ever even once used it with tarot. Maybe. Um, there's maybe a video somewhere where I have, but like for the most part, this is my astrology deck and I love it. And I feel like it's just it's worth it. I want to get like if there is a deck of hers that I would use with tarot, it would be the Compendium of Constellations, which isn't mass market. That one's indie and I think out of print. So if I ever got my hands on that, I would probably use that with tarot. But this, the Arcana of Astrology it's my dedicated astrology deck. 100%. So yeah, so that was number 4. And now we're in the top 3. We're in the top 3. We're almost there. Okay. So I'm excited. I hope you are enjoying this too. Okay, so number 3. I have to say, well, when I get to 1 and 2, those are like so hard to say 1 and 2. But anyway, this one, yes, this one does sit at number 3. And it's in another one of these bags. These are like these bags that I got when I had an Ipsy makeup subscription like long time ago. Anyway, so here sitting at number 3 is, I bet you're wondering when an animal deck was going to come up. And here it is. The Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle. Oh my God. Why can you guys tell me why every single animal deck is called something spirit animal or animal spirit animal? Oh my God. I cannot keep them. I cannot keep them right. But this one's my favorite. The Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle. I've not said the names of any of the creators except for Claire Goodchild. Oh well. These are the backs. This is glossy too. So you know what's funny is that I also have an indie deck that is black and white, although this is more like black and cream. Look at the dog card. Wait, can you see him? Oh, he's so cute. I have the another deck that is it better if I do it like that? Yeah, maybe like that a little. Um, that's black and white, and this is black and cream. But I don't know why I always want this deck. Now, I've used this deck with tarot readings for sure. I have, but that's not its primary purpose. I belong to a Cosmic Creeper, Tegan at Cosmic Creeper, her Patreon, and she does an animal gnosis along with other things monthly in her Patreon. But animal gnosis is my favorite thing. In fact, today's the first day of animal gnosis, and I already have my card out. It's over there. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to show you that one, but it's from this deck. Anyway, I use this for animal gnosis primarily. Um, I've been, and for some reason, like this deck, it's how many cards? I don't even know. Probably like 50 something. For some reason, this deck loves Tegan's choices because there's always one in here. Um, and of like between this one, maybe it's because it's cream colored and not like stark white. I prefer it. I also really enjoy the keywords because they're two kind of like, different words. It's not really like this, synonyms. So for owl, we have vision and silence, which is really good. Um, let me see. Let me find another good one. The sea turtle. For the sea turtle, we have longevity and introspection. And I sit with those words. I don't necessarily, I know I've used be. Responsibility and dedication. Oh my God, I love this card. It's just for horse, we have journey and ambition. Anyway, this is not a deck that I use with tarot as much as I do for my animal gnosis practice. The card comes out, it sits with me all month. I sometimes I carry it with me. um in different ways. I don't know, I won't get too into that. But sometimes I've carried it with me. Um, I mean, like, it's not anything like, super like crazy, just like in my pocket or in my bag or whatever. Or just around the house in different places and things like that, just to feel like the energy of that animal and just to like, think of it. And I really enjoy the little guidebook is actually pretty good. So this is, I mean, of all of the animal, and I have a few, and I've rehomed some animal decks. My daughter's also taken animal decks from me, which is fine. Um, this is the one. Like, this is the one. I can't imagine that. Like, there would have to be a very special animal deck to replace this. And I spent on that, that kind of spendy indie one that's similar, and it's beautiful, but I keep reaching for this mass market one instead. I don't know why. And even when they have the same animal, I don't know why. I just really, I mean, I guess I do know why. I think it's everything all together. The guidebook, the cream colored borders, and it's darker. Like, maybe that's another reason why. Like, I just like the dark, the darkness of it. Oh, look at Otter. It's so cute. Okay, so yeah, so that is the Untamed Spirit Animal Oracle. If I can remember, I flashed the name up several times, so we won't get confused. Okay, you guys, this is it. We are down to number one and number two. And I don't know that I'm sorry, my nose is itchy. My nose itches when I think when I get nervous uh, or something. I don't know. So these two are, yeah, very, very special, important decks in my collection. And they are my favorites. I don't know if I like one more than the other. One is more of a favorite than the other. They have different purposes. So let me talk about, well, I guess this is number two. I guess we'll call it number two. I don't know, because these both are like equally number one. So I don't know. It's the Hellenic Oracle, you guys, and this is a Krista bag. And look, it's got the little Greek coins. So my Hellenic Oracle in a Krista bag. The Hellenic Oracle, as many of you know, I talk about it all the time. It's a deck made by Thea at Garden Goddess Tarot. These are the backs. But the Hellenic Oracle is a Greek mythology oracle deck. And this is hands down the most versatile oracle deck in my collection. It works with literally everything. Um, I can put it next to tarot. I do that all the time. Um, I can use it as altar cards. I use it for specific purposes, like in magic or ritual or devotional. Um, I pull cards intentionally. It's part of a study of mine with Greek mythology. I use it, you know, by itself. I use it with the tarot. I use it with Oracle and Oracle. I mean, you name it. Name it. And this deck will not miss for me. Never. It's tried and true. It doesn't have keywords, which is like, how many, like, there's so many of these that don't actually have keywords, like traditionally. And I remember a long time ago saying that like a single keyword was my favorite thing. And it might not be. I mean, I don't know. I think whenever I try to like figure out what the thing is for myself is when I fail, but it has just the name of the deity, or well, I mean Hercules, sorry, Heracles. Hercules is his Roman name. Heracles. It has their name and in the Greek as well. And it has paintings from, this is like what do we call this again? Is pre-Raphaelite? You guys tell me. But and it's not my typical art style. Like I'm not a big fan of like I personally prefer like contemporary or modern postmodern art. Um so it's not that, although I love these. I love these because of the choices. And it just feels for me connected to, the deity or the Titan or everything to do with the mythology. It is everything. Like this deck is my like, tried and true um just workhorse of an oracle deck, but I don't want to call it a workhorse because I feel like that like um diminishes it in some way. It's just I love the Helios card so much. I've used this like in videos for like the deck and walk. I've used this just so much, so often. I honestly, oh look, here's Hermes. Okay, I love Mercury because I'm a Gemini, so I'm ruled by Mercury. My sign is ruled by Mercury. I also love Aries. And you can see how worn my deck is because I've shuffled this bad boy a lot. It sits out in like where my deck and altar is, like out on I mean, it's literally just my coffee table out in my family room. It's always out there or in my bag if I've taken it with me. So it's always out there with my other like Deccan decks. So I have like a few decks that sit out there. I won't tell you because that might be another countdown video. So I mean, I can't like honestly speak more highly of the Hellenic Oracle as just a deck that this year, like I got it right? I got it right at the beginning of this year, didn't I? I'd have to check my, my receipts, but like it is so good. It just works in every single way. It's such a hit. It's never a miss for me. Yeah. So that, I mean, it's number two, but it's number one also, just like this next deck. The last one I'm gonna show you is also a number one, number two. It's hard to say. I just felt like I couldn't put her in any other space than number one because she's my girl. And it is the Mystique of Magdalene. Um, I don't, I like, I feel like I'm gonna have trouble like explaining this. But I, so the goddess energy, I feel like that like I've back up. Let me back up. Let me back up. I've talked about this in different ways on the channel, but I grew up Catholic, and somewhere around high school, I was like, that's not for me. Let me show you the backs. This is a Cheryl Yambach Rose deck. I've edged mine in red. So somewhere around my teens, I was like, no, I don't think that that's for me. But all of the Catholicism, like, the symbology, the everything, to do with Catholicism, it lives in here, right? Like I know it. I mean, I grew up in Catholic school. I got my catechism, I was baptized, I had my first communion, and I had a confirmation. Like, I did the whole thing. And it's very typical because I'm Cuban, right? That's not like a surprise. But anyway, I when I was an atheist for a while, and in the last what 5 7 years things have changed, and the journey sorry, I cannot say that word without saying it like that. the path that I'm on right now is led me in this weird way back to some things that are Catholic, like big neon sign Catholic in my mind. And Mary Magdalene is one of them. Also, by the way, my name, Marlene, is derived from the name Magdalene. So we share the name that there's a whole thing about names there with I should show you the deck. um there's a whole thing with my name and the Magdalene. Anyway, so as I've been on this, spiritual journey for the last few years and kind of like rediscovering belief and, it came back in the form of, of goddess energy, right? So like, um, feminine, divine feminine. Although there's divine masculine stuff for me as well, but that's a different video. That's a different video. Oh, when I came around to believing in the sacred, something sacred again, something beyond me, I came around to goddess energy first, and I was avoiding anything to do with Mary. Like I really, really was. Because it felt like it was not I didn't want to go back to what was before. However, Mary Magdalene just came about for me in this very specific way. And God, I love this card so much. Um and it just was right, and it's like an evolution of me. It's an evolution of my like spiritual, beliefs. I am the grail. Hold on to your power. God, that was like the perfect card for what I was just saying. um so I so anyway, all that to say, like all that personal backstory to say that I got a couple of Magdalene decks, but this is the one. Although I know that the creator of the Black Madonna and the Mother Mary, or those ones that are indie, that are the like the dioramas of in the statues of the different Marys. I know she's making a red Madonna. And I really am gonna have to get that. I know, because it's Magdalene. So the Magdalene is an important, I love this so much. Is such an important um guide. Well, I don't even know what to call it. Like honestly, I don't know what to say. It's a figure, deity, guide, guardian, mother, sister, um, everything kind of energy. Um, the Mystique of Magdalene. And this deck is beautiful. So the way that I work with it, very many different ways, but for the most part, it often is this deck sits by my bedside. I definitely do use it with tarot. I have like a trio, like a family of decks that I use this with, the Odyssean Tarot and the Goddess of Love Tarot. But I also, before I used it with tarot, I used it um on its own, just one card at a time. I love this one too. Just one card at a time. And often, before bedtime. It's a deck that like works for like spirituality for me, but it can also work for like the everyday. Look at this card. This artwork is so good. Um it can work for everyday things for me. Like it also helps me like get back in touch with my own like physical body, because it's hard for me to do that because I'm like up here all the time just floating around. Um yeah, it's it's about family, it's about love and relationships, and all things like taboo as well. The Magdalene speaks to me like she's like, I don't know. I just really, and I've read books and stuff, but I've kind of formed my own personal gnosis. There's definitely a Jesus card in here. I struggled with this for a while. I definitely did. I did. I still kind of do, but we're like making peace. Like I'm figuring it out. There's things because it's like it really needs to like I need to be confronted with this. Also, by the way, I love this. It's like it makes me think of my daughter. Um, look at that. So I love this though. Um, yeah, I feel like I needed to be confronted with this like very Christian, Catholic. To me, it just reads Catholic because that's my experience. Energy in order to like evolve, like in order for me to like to reassess, to like figure out what I'm doing, who I am, what everything means, little things like that. Oh my God. Okay, that's it. That was ugh, you guys. The Mystique of Magdalene Oracle is, I mean, it's tied. Like these two are tied for number one, but she's number one in my heart. She's number one. I just know that like of the decks that I use the most, like the Hellenic Oracle is the one that I use the most, 100%. Okay, that's it. That's the first countdown, and it was a good one. It was a good one. So, thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope that you enjoyed that. Look out for more final countdown videos coming from me for the rest of December. I hope that you all have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye.